Hello everyone, my name is AZZATRU, how are you, and welcome to another Star Wars gaming news video of mine. And in this video I'm going to be rounding up everything we know about the upcoming Star Wars game Jedi Fallen Order. From story details like characters to mechanics and the game engine it is being made on, there is a lot of misinformation, leaks, and not a lot of officially released information. So I will do my best to get all of the credible info here in this video. We're likely not going to be hearing anything about this game until Star Wars Celebration in April, so this is all we have to go off for some time. I will firstly talk about what is known about the game's development team and the time in development, then story details, mechanics, the release date, game engine, and more. So if you've been living under a rock or in the Outer Rim for quite some time, you might not know what Jedi Fallen Order is. So it's a game coming out later this year, and it is an action-adventure lightsaber combat game. It has a canon single-player story, and it's being developed by Respawn Entertainment. So let's start things off by talking about the time in development and the dev team itself. So Respawn Entertainment are famous for creating Titanfall and Titanfall 2, two of the greatest shooters of all time, seriously. And before Titanfall, many of those developers created the fan favourite Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, and Modern Warfare 2 games before leaving to make Respawn and create Titanfall. In early 2014, Stig Asmussen, director of God of War 3, joined Respawn. This is when he began working on a brand new project with a small team that was separate from the Titanfall 2 development team. He led this team, and nothing new was revealed for 2 years, and then in early 2016, during the development of Titanfall 2, job listings stated Respawn were hiring for a game using Unreal Engine 4 in March. Then, in May 2016, Stig announced in a Respawn blog post that they're making a third-person action-adventure Star Wars game with the EA Star Wars brand and Lucasfilm. He stated fans should expect the exemplary level of quality, dedication, and groundbreaking mechanics established by Respawn in the Titanfall franchise. In June that year at EA Play, behind-the-scenes footage of motion capture for the game was shown off. This was a lightsaber fight being captured at Respawn.
As a studio, our promise to gamers is ultimately gameplay first. We all demand that the game has these huge wow moments that translates really well into the Star Wars universe. We're going to deliver that Star Wars awe like fans have never seen before.
Another 2 years passed, and again we learned nothing more until EA Play 2018, when we finally got a name, some story details, and a release timeframe.
So the Star Wars name is Jedi Fallen Order.
After all, this is a single-player story game, so let's talk about the story. When officially revealed, the only info we were given is that it's going to be an action-adventure game which tells an original Star Wars story around a surviving Padawan after the events of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, in the aftermath of Order 66. We did not hear anything about this story, except Gary Whitta, who is the co-writer for the Rogue One film script, stated on the Kinda Funny Games podcast he is excited for Jedi Fallen Order. To quote,
I actually am pretty excited. I know about the Respawn game that I can't talk about, but I think that's potentially going to be great.
Shortly after EA Play, Matt Martin, who works for the Lucasfilm Story Group and mainly works on the comics, said on Twitter, issues of the recent Vader comic series would have hints to Jedi Fallen Order, and I will discuss what we think he meant in a short while. And then in September 2018, Jason Ward, who runs the reliable Star Wars leak website, Making Star Wars, stated he spoke to someone in the games industry and Jedi Fallen Order will be like the Force Unleashed games, but with the extreme force powers toned down. For example, there would be no pulling a Star Destroyer out of the sky. They're sticking to canon, so that's why they won't be doing anything too crazy in Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, that one's it's going to be pretty much like Force Unleashed without the Mountain Dew qualities. So you won't see anything absurd.
If you want to hear about the track record Making Star Wars has had, they basically revealed everything to be spot on When it came to The Force Awakens, they've also been spot on about stuff relating to The Last Jedi, Rogue One, Solo, and games in the past. They revealed all about the Visceral game. We got a lot of information about the cancelled Visceral game. We also got some stuff on Battlefront 2. They've just been very, very good, and it's very hard not to trust these people as a trusted source when it comes to Jedi Fallen Order. So if we fast forward to December, there was a post made on the Star Wars Leaks subreddit from a random account detailing info about Episode 9, The Mandalorian TV show, Jedi Fallen Order, and more. The person stated they went to a Star Wars marketing presentation, and Making Star Wars confirmed that the Episode 9 and Mandalorian info specifically in that leak is what they've been hearing on the set of those productions, so it deemed this leak highly credible. It wasn't just some random person with random fake information. So the stuff mentioned in that post about Jedi Fallen Order is as follows. It takes place about 5 years after Revenge of the Sith and follows the main character whose name is Cal. The person says they forgot the last name. He is a Padawan that survived the efforts to kill all of the remaining Jedi. Not a ton of gameplay info, but some of the other storylines are that he has a mentor figure who is a woman called Ceres, and there is another thing that they remember talking about other characters they would come across in some of the comics. This includes the Ninth Sister and the Second Sister, something about Inquisitors. They wish they could have remembered more. They also showed a lot of artwork. So what can we take from this leak? Well, it gives us a time frame of when the story is going to be set in. It's going to be 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. Personally, I'm a little bit disappointed if this is true. I would have liked the story to be set directly after Revenge of the Sith, but it's not impossible that we won't get a prologue or a tutorial mission set during Order 66. And the main character is called Cal, and they have a mentor figure called Ceres. We don't know who these people are. It sounds like they're going to be completely original characters. The most interesting part about this leak, however, is the sisters. So a new canon reference book, not available in English, called Dark Side: An Illustrated History, confirms the existence of the second sister. A vengeful and dishonoured warrior was motivated by deep-seated hate against the Jedi Order that failed her. In Vader Comic issue 19, people are suggesting this is the second sister, but this is just speculation based on information we have. Shortly after, Jason Ward of Making Star Wars randomly tweeted out on New Year's Day, Barriss is a sister in a video game, lol, which hints towards the theory that Barriss Offray is the second sister. Quite a few people, before Jason made this tweet, made the connections between Barriss and the second sister, and even though people have said Dave Filoni stated that she would not be a sister, things can be changed and the story group can do what they please, and if it makes for an interesting part of this game, it would work. As for the ninth sister, she was formerly known as Masana Tide and was in the Vader comics. That is all we know so far about the story of Jedi Fallen Order, and I will keep you updated in a video if anything else is leaked or revealed. Now let's talk about release date. So back at EA Play 2018, it was slated to release in holiday 2019, so November or December, just like most massive titles. To be even more specific, the leak that featured the Jedi Fallen Order Episode 9 and Mandalorian info stated the game is coming out in November, which is safe to assume to be fact because games tend to avoid a December release date. Episode 9 releases in December. The past two Battlefront games have released in the middle of November. It just makes perfect sense that it does. Now let's move on to Game Engine, because this has been quite a hot topic within the Jedi Fallen Order community recently. So as I previously mentioned, back in 2016, job listings stated Respawn wanted people to work on an Unreal Engine game. This was quite a major thing because Respawn used a heavily modified version of the Source engine, the one that powers Counter-Strike, Half-Life, those sort of games, for Titanfall and Titanfall 2. Plus, EA Star Wars games so far on PC and console have been made using Frostbite, DICE's engine, which was originally made for Battlefield. Battlefront 2015 and Battlefront 2 both use it, Visceral's open world game used it, and it seems like the open world game which is carrying on development at EA Motive is going to be using the Frostbite engine as well. Also, Respawn was purchased by EA in November 2017. Most EA games on console now specifically use Frostbites, from FIFA to Madden, Mass Effect Andromeda, Anthem. All of those games are using Frostbite now, so you'd assume that maybe Jedi Fallen Order is using it. But it's actually probably going to be made in Unreal Engine 4, because a job listing that went up in October 2018 for Jedi Fallen Order stated they're looking for designers to work in Unreal Engine 4. At this time, it could be wrong. This job listing could have been wrong because it's not been confirmed what engine is being used. But it doesn't make much sense if they've got a job listing saying Star Wars, Unreal Engine 4, and of course 2 years ago they did have job listings for Unreal Engine 4. It wouldn't make sense to switch engines this far in development. It doesn't make sense. They wouldn't even do it 2 years before release. Now let's move on to multiplayer, because I've seen quite a few people comment on my videos asking if Fallen Order will have multiplayer or some sort of co-op mode. No job listings or info have suggested there is any kind of co-op or multiplayer. Some games just don't need it at the end of the day. There's been plenty of major releases that's had a tacked on multiplayer mode that has been subpar and took away from development of the single player component. Battlefront 2 is the Star Wars multiplayer game, and it's getting more content in 2019, so I doubt there will be a multiplayer mode for Jedi Fallen Order. So what's next for the news of Jedi Fallen Order? Well, I will reiterate, I doubt we will hear anything until the game is revealed at Star Wars Celebration Chicago in April. The reveal is likely to happen the day after the Episode 9 panel, so Saturday 13th of April is when I expect to see Jedi Fallen Order. This is an educated guess based on past years. We may get a little tease like a logo early in April to promote the reveal though, but I doubt it's going to be anything more. Also, EA Play at the start of June, when you can expect to see more shared, like an extended gameplay demo video. So there you have it. That is everything we know about Jedi Fallen Order as of January 2019. I will be keeping you up to date on Jedi Fallen Order. I'll be making videos, so make sure you do subscribe and turn those notifications on so you do not miss any Jedi Fallen Order news. Comment below what your thoughts are on Jedi Fallen Order. What have you learned? And if you did learn anything and liked this video, be sure to click the like button. It would really help me out a lot. Check out any of the 2 previous videos on screen if you did miss them, and I shall see you all in my next Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Goodbye.